here we go. Greetings from the Erie Coast. This is Mad Shad. Freya Vigimi, Freya Bless on this wonderful Friday. Wow, it's raining and more raining, but it's like 80, close to 80 degrees. So it's a good day, and I got the day off. That's a really good day. Tell you about those who did not have a good day. Those Americans that are trapped in Afghanistan, left there by Trader Joe's malicious /head puppet regime. At least you forget 13 servicemen and women died at Abbey Gate, Kabul, Afghanistan, along with 200 poor souls. 300 plus people lost arms and legs and limbs. Things that don't grow back. A lot of them service members as well. Every day, never forget. And never forget whose fault this is. Deploy knife hands. But there was hope. Folks getting him out. Task Force Argo, Task Force Pineapple, Project Exodus, Project Dynamo Christian Coalition, Mighty Oak Foundation, just to name a few. And least we forget that 800, 900 plus individuals are still incarcerated over the J6 debacle. Hell, there's political prisoners without sentencing, without bail, torture, solitary confinement conditions, someone lost an eye. There have been suicides. A lot of moms and dads in prison. Every day, never forget, and never forget whose fault this is. And yes, definitely deploy more knife hands. Meanwhile, I'm pretty sure that you've heard what's been going on in the UK, in the Europe area, especially the UK. The UK is completely overrun with new neighbors, new population, the replacement migration population, and they are literally just making hell on earth. I mean, and the local the authorities, the tyrannical regime, they're just they're cracking down on the people. This is an assault on the people that live there. They've lived their lives for generations upon generations. A culture, it's we all know what goes on. I mean, it's liver mush, eel eel stew and mush, liver mush pudding and all whatever. You understand. Fish and chips. I mean, they have their own culture. They've built their own culture for thousands of years. Yeah. I mean, it's where white people come from. It is where white people come from, and there's still a majority of white people there. Anglo-Saxon, Caucasian, whatever you call whatever the classification is. These people have lived there for thousands of years. They've lived fairly peaceful lives until now. Now that they have millions of literally just illegals, just here you go, come on in. The tyrannical regime said, yeah, come on in here. We'll pay you to come into our country. We'll give you houses. We'll give you cars. We'll give you jobs. We'll give you everything you ever want. And all you have to do is destabilize everything. Their way of life for the indigenous people. Sound familiar? It's called the Cloward-Piven method. You overwhelm a nation's resources and systems and just overall way of life with a people that are so diametrically opposed to your way of life and culture that they are willing to kill you for it. Some people would call that an invasion, yes. And it's being facilitated by the actual tyrannical regime. Whereas upon the indigenous people, the crackdown is on them. They can't get on social media. They can't say anything, because if they do, they get arrested and get put in prison. Do you understand that? Right? So this is what's going on over there. And yes, they want it for here too. And yes, it's happened here. I just stated a few cases. One in particular. So, Ireland. Ireland. Well, Ireland ain't having it. They ain't having it. And parts of the UK aren't having it either. The people they mind you, you have roving bands of new neighbors armed. And when I say armed, there's no guns, there's no pew pews. There might be some. I mean, they do have guns. It's just very, very restrictive. But when things like this happen, some people might. I mean, it's a very arcane technology, so you can start to make your own. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But these armed roving bands of idiots are armed with swords, knives, clubs, baseball bats, shields, armor. Yeah, like everything just went medieval back, just boom, right back again. And so the people of Ireland, of course, they have these immigration welcome centers. I don't know what they call them. Basically, these welcome centers where these new neighbors get bussed in and they're given documentation. They're given jobs and all these things, and given their marching orders, right? They're given marching orders, millions of them. Well, Ireland is well known. They just burn them down every time they try to build them. They burn them down. Every time that the construction starts again, even with police presence, they burn it down. Fighting in the streets, it's they are not fucking around. I mean, in fact, not fucking around. Remember that? But they are literally fighting back. And if you know anything about the history of the Irish, Protestant Catholics, the Troubles, right? It appears that the Protestants and Catholics, which they still had a rift, right? There was still a rift there in Ireland. They've been banding together, going, wait a minute. This is more of an existential threat than you are. So the enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? Yeah, Ireland is not having it, and the people are had enough. But they have to maintain appearances under the tyrannical regime, because if the tyrannical regime senses that you are fighting back against their tyranny, then they come and arrest you. You make one post, one tweet. One guy got arrested. One guy went to prison for yelling at a dog, a police dog. I don't know. I mean, yeah, fuck shit, yeah, fuck shit, fuck. And he went to prison. And as for, it doesn't matter what they say. The reason is, right? If you don't have free speech, you don't have everything. You're walking on eggshells. You're living the tyrannical regime dream. Yeah. So Ireland's not having it. And one person in particular, someone we all know and love or hate, and that would be UFC's famous Conor McGregor. That's right, Conor McGregor. He has announced this might be the barometer of what's going on over there, how bad shit is. Now, Conor McGregor has always been outspoken about what's going on in his country, and urging people to fight, urging people to stand up to this tyranny. Remembering their roots, calling way back to their ancestors, their forefathers, and we all know the Irish are very, very proud indeed. So much so that they will fight and die and keep going. It's and drink while they're doing it. So hell, they do that shit for fun. That's a weekend. So Conor McGregor has announced that he will be running for El Presidente of Ireland. Yeah, to take the country back. That's is he presidential material? Some would say no, but it would be very, very interesting. It would be very, very interesting indeed. Uh, and I think actually a move in the right a decision, moving in the right direction. I mean, of course, he's a hero over there. He would easily win the popular vote, easily. Everybody would vote for them, would vote for Connor. Everybody, but would they allow that? Would the tyrannical regime allow that? We all know the answer to that one, don't we? Yes. So stand by for that one. I find that very interesting. But we're seeing, and you're not hearing about it because there is a media blackout, right? There is a media cover up. Oh no, nothing to see here. Meanwhile, we got that same shit going on here. It's a lot more violent. We have literally gangs from other countries and gangs, indigenous gangs here that are just running amok. But we still have the 1A and we still have the 2A and the 3A, 4A. We got 12 of these A's. And maybe more. I don't know. I forget. I'm embarrassed by that. But yet still, it's like, oh no, nothing to see here. Nothing's happening. Don't worry. Go about your business. Go about your business. Right. While they encroach and they pass laws and restrictions and fines. Oh, here's another one. Thank you, Trent Vision Preparedness for sharing this one. Glenn Beck, the Department of Agriculture has decreed that all environmental processes on your land is now his. That, yeah. So if basically the federal government can come in and confiscate, fine, tax you because you have a tree that's drinking too much water, or that water is not yours. It's so you can't save it. You can't use it for your purposes. The soil which facilitates the environmental processes. You're adding too much carbon with your footprints walking in the grass that they have to tax you. And of course that's the way it is. That's part of their plan to get people out of rural America and into urban America, so they'll own the vast resources of this great land, i.e. private land, farmland, things that there is a war. If you haven't noticed what's going on, there is a war against farmers. Farmers have been whistleblowing for years. I mean, the government subsidies. The government would pay farmers not to grow anything. Here, we'll just pay. It was more lucrative, in some points, and it's a corrupt system. It's more lucrative to not grow anything than to produce food. Wow, really? But this goes way, way past eminent domain and things of that nature. It's crazy. And the farmers they're just a few of them. You're talking about a family farm that's been there for 2-3 generations. And they've been working that land and being prosperous and making something. Farmers don't get paid a lot, but they produce 90% of all the food in the world. We see what's going on with the Netherlands, the UK. I mean, the UK used to be number one in wheat production. Now we know what their production really is now. Their level of production is not. They're more known for drone strikes than for wheat. Yeah. Netherlands. They were the number one, number seven, number two. Number two in cattle production. Yes, beef and steak. Not so much anymore. Not so much anymore. Yeah. Yeah. So there is a war going on that we don't see, that they're not showing us, because they want us to all believe that everything's okay. Meanwhile, the world is crumbling and burning around us. But this is fine, really. Everything's fine. Yeah. Yeah. Wake up. Wake up. The sleeper must awaken. So, anyway, yeah, sorry I'm so late for this. I've just been relaxing and napping and doing things and chores, and Charity is very demanding over there, and you hear her going, she wants more food. We've already been for a walk in the rain and did our thing, so it's just a regular Friday around here for us. But yeah, folks, yeah. Yeah, interesting times indeed. And yeah, it's going to get worse before it gets worse. But there is hope. There's always hope. Always hope. As long as there are men that are willing to roll up their sleeves and get to work, as long as there's families that are dedicated to their children's future, this will survive. We will survive. And, of course, we all know that tyranny requires compliance. Without compliance, tyranny crumbles. It can't exist. We are many, they are few. We do what we want, they do what they can. That's how it always works. In reflection, looking at the great USSR, looking at the PLA, the People's PRC, the People's Republic of China, and all these tyrannical, even North Korea. People always find a way to do shit and to do things, and without them watching. I've commented on this before. China. They have one of the most impressive and large surveillance apparatus. It encompasses everything in China. Everywhere there's a computer, everywhere there's a camera, everyone is being tracked. Everything from what they do, what they think, what they eat, how they poop, where they work, what they like on their social medias, which of course is closed and controlled. It's they still find ways to kind of rebel against the system. Hell, even Iran, they've been having secret parties, where people drink and smoke and fornicate, which is most forbidden. Eat bacon, smuggling bacon into Iran. Yes. So I mean, yeah, these people are always going to find a way to do what they want, regardless of the authority, and that's a testament to the human spirit. It really is. So that's why I love to say my race is the human race. What's yours? We always find a way. So anyway, I'm just gonna leave that there. Enjoy this day, this Friday, folks. Enjoy the weekend. Congratulations, you survived the week. The weekend is now yours, right? And yeah, later on we'll do Lackluster Friday. So this has been Mad Shad. Every day, never forget. Oh yes, here's my if Conor McGregor was to become president and run for presidency, as candidacy, I think his slogan should be Pog Mahone! Pog Mahone! Yes, Pog Mahone! Let's make Pog Mahone great again. If you don't know what that means kiss my ass in Irish Gaelic. Yeah. Yeah. Pog Mahone. So, yes. Yes, thank you very much. It's been Mad Shad. Every day, never forget.